Welcome back. As Eric mentioned in his report, between Congress and the White House, Tuesday's GOP win was the fourth party control shift in less than a decade, underscoring a state of instability in which neither party has been able to gain a firm grip on power. What will it take to get our sea legs under us? Scott Rasmussen is with us. He is a political analyst who founded the polling company Rasmussen Reports. He is now founder and president of the online information service Stirk Corporation. Good to see you, Scott.
Good to see you,
Thank you so much for joining us. So, what about that? The fact that we have changed control 4 times in the last 8 years. Are we governing or are we, politicking? Is anything getting done?
Well, nothing's getting done, and I'll take it back even further. 3 presidents in a row have now come into power with their party in control of Congress and lost control of Congress. That's never happened before in American history, even twice in a row. The American people are saying, we're rejecting both of you. We don't like what we're seeing. So one guy gets in power, they say we're going to vote him out.
So what does that mean for this period, this next 2 years now with another divided government, and then going into 2016?
Well, for the next couple of years, there's going to be challenges. The president is going to try and bait the Republican majority into overreaching. The Republicans are going to have an opportunity to begin laying the groundwork for where they're going at issues like health care. They're going to have to vote for repeal, even though it won't go anywhere. Then they're going to have to show some ways they can be pragmatic. But ultimately, we're going to be caught up in 2016 politics almost from the beginning of the new Congress.
Does that mean nothing gets done, really, at the end of the day for 2 years?
There will be some things. I think they'll find both sides will have an interest on minor issues to work together to show that they're pragmatic. But nothing major is going to change. We have a system where both political parties are a little bit out of touch. They're both trying to find the right messaging, and we're not quite sure where it ends up.
The GOP really needs to get its message right and articulate a message to the American people of where they want to take this country. Right. Will they be able to do it?
Don't know. I mean, ultimately, the voice of the Republican Party will be the presidential nominee. We don't know who that's going to be. In this election, in this Congress, they have a huge challenge. They have to take action on the health care law, but they can't appear obsessed about it. They've got to look at jobs and energy and other policy as well. They've got to show their base that they're standing up for things, but recognizing that there's still a Democratic president in the White House.
Let's talk about 2016 for a moment. Hillary, is that going to be the contender against whatever GOP candidate comes up?
I'm skeptical. I do not think she's going to run. The reason, very simple. Hillary Clinton is a very smart woman who knows what it's like to run for president more than anybody else on the planet. I don't think she wants to run in a 4th campaign unless she's almost certain to win. And Secretary Clinton is going to look at the numbers, look at the fundamentals, and say, unless Barack Obama turns things around, he's going to be as big a drag on the Democratic candidate in 2016 as George W. Bush was in 2008.
I was saying that after she did an interview on Fox News with Brett and Greta, and I felt that during that interview, she kept talking about the stamina that is required to campaign and how politics is brutal. I thought she was giving herself an out, that maybe she wouldn't run.
It could be. She hasn't called me and disclosed her plans. I have no real knowledge.
But you are also skeptical.
But I'm very, very skeptical. And again, I think it's because the Republicans are going to be favored heading into 2016 simply because of President Obama's job approval rating. That was the reason the Republicans did so well last Tuesday, and unless it turns around, he will be a drag on the Democratic nominee. Now, on the flip side, Secretary Clinton is going to be under enormous pressure to run because there aren't a lot of other options.
What are the options on the GOP side? I mean, let's face it, this next 2 years is a window for the GOP to tell the American people what they're going to do and try to get something done. Because 2016, you've got a lot of seats up for grabs.
Absolutely. Look, every single Republican governor who won re-election on Tuesday thinks, this is my turn. They're all going to consider running. There's a lot of people in the Senate. There are going to be 20 people at least who are giving serious consideration to running for the GOP nomination, and it's a valuable nomination to have. I don't know who comes out of that. I don't have any idea, and we won't until they actually begin campaigning.
Scott, great to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you so much. Scott Rasmussen joining us this morning.